Hi, Shalom. This is G-Man Solid Sit Downs coming back with a lesson. I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Bashem, Hel Shai Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect out there, spreading this word of sincerity and the truth all over the four corners of the earth. Gone. This lesson is going to be concerning the speech that Macron did. Let me check it out real quick. It's from, let's see if I can see the date, February the 7th, which today's date is February the 7th. This was from this afternoon. This speech is from this afternoon, I'm about to speak concerning that. Want brothers to know that my main channel is coming online again. When Saturday night, let's just say Sunday, my main channel, GMS Holland Sit Downs, is gonna be online again this Sunday. So I'm gonna be able to go live again and stuff. So what's going on is Europe. It's kind of funny. Europe is realizing that they have to run the race together with all these weaker countries, and all these countries across the world that are competing in this arms race, man. What kind of arms race? A nuclear arms race. That's what they are fully into as we speak. Recently America also successfully tested its nuclear missile, their new nuclear missiles that basically competes against the hypersonic missiles of Russia. And then you have Iran and Iraq continuing their nuclear missile project, and they are about to set off that pace, man. They are about to set that pace concerning these nuclear missiles, man. You got these scientists out there creating all kinds of new stuff for this up and coming World War III. As I'm walking, say call Allah Yah Bashim Yah Shai. It's a very bright so-called star. It's going between the trees right now. So that's another thing, man. The angels is watching, man. The angels of Yah Bashim Yah Shai is watching as this world and as these nations are preparing for war. So let me read this article. It says Macron warns that European nations cannot remain spectators in the face of potential nuclear arms race. Potential nuclear arms race. It's not that potential, man. There's great potential for nuclear war. In this up and coming year, and it's inevitable. But this war, this arms race, been going on, man. Why you think these contracts and these nuclear deals are being spoken of so much? And indeed, what he's saying, Europe is being a spectator, man. So what Macron is saying, which Macron is the president of France, what he's saying is like, hey, we need to step our game up, man. We need to step our game up, and we also need to how you say that? Build new modern nuclear missiles. Let me see. So that's also a part of prophecy, because of course the European Union is gonna play a part in this World War III, they also are gonna shoot missiles at America. So they have to join in this nuclear arms race, man. So it says French President Emmanuel Macron has warned of a looming arms race and called for new controls to limit the proliferation of conventional and nuclear weapons. The French leader speaking in Paris on Friday argued that the European Union faces new security challenges following Britain's exit from the bloc. Europeans must realize, this is Macron speaking, Europeans must realize collectively that in the absence of a legal framework, they could rapidly face a new race for conventional weapons, even nuclear weapons, on their own soil, Macron said. He stressed that Europeans cannot remain spectators in the face of such threats and urged leaders to create an international arms control agenda. So basically, what the agenda always represents is basically a time frame wherein they desire to have certain things done, certain things completed. You know, as we know, Russia has a nuclear missile called Satan II, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile. So that's a very important thing as of late. The distance that missiles can travel. But the new thing is the speed by which these nuclear missiles travel. You know, like the hypersonic missile. Then you have a missile that goes above the ozone layer. Well, this missile actually, this hypersonic missile is the one that does that. Goes above the ozone layer and then drops down, breaks through the ozone layer and comes down with a hypersonic speed. You know, so they are creating all these new weapons by the scientists which have the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai on them to do so. You know, so it's all prophecy and it all needs to happen. And it's actually a beautiful thing that it's coming out like that. Like, hey, Macron be speaking up about it, man. Like the European Union needs to step up their game. You know, so that's the Most High speaking through these leaders, man. You know, and bringing out the information onto us so we can bring it out onto the people that are hearing the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So this is Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Most High turns it whithersoever he will, man. If he wants them to bring out this information that they are concerned because of the nuclear arms race, you know, Europe needs to step up its game. You know, that's all Yahweh Hashem Yahushai putting that spirit out there, man. You know, because the European Union is preparing for war also. And while you have all these nations preparing for nuclear war and building these nuclear missiles, you got like he says, you got how you call that? You got Slovakia. You got Europe just being a spectator, man. While you got all these nations building and creating. So what they want to do and what they have been doing is creating this European army of the European Union. You know, next to the NATO army that they already have. You know, and basically join forces, man. And they are about to fulfill the prophecy that is in the book of Revelation. We're working towards that, of course. Let me think. Is it 17? Come. This is Revelation chapter 17. Let me see. Let me start at 15. And he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitude and nations and tongues, which is America. The whore is America, sitting up on a multitude of people and of nations. You know, basically America is this world power, you know, that sits upon everyone's face, man. Sits upon everyone's face. It is above the NATO. Claims to be above the NATO, of course. You know, and this just decides to do whatever he wants on his own, you know, without any consequences and sanctions, but wants to put sanctions upon everyone. So America is that whore that sits upon everyone. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. The 10 horns, you know, I ain't gonna go in the breakdown right now. I recently did the breakdown of Revelation chapter 17 when I was in the camp. I also posted it on GMS Holland Sit Downs. So if you want, you can check that. It says the title of the video is GMS Camp Holland. So you can check that one out. And then, you know, you're going to learn what the breakdown is of Revelation chapter 17. So for now, I'm going to just say the 10 horns represents the European Union, the European nations, which started off with Germania Minor, Germania Major, Britain, Spain, France, Greece, Italy, Portugal, two more, which I can't come on right now. It's lucky for that. Two more. You know, if you look up the GMS picture of the red dragon with the 10 horns and 7 heads, you will see those nations, which those nations are the ones that the European Union started with, and it grew out to become a multitude of combined governments, you know, which it is right now. But it started off with 10. So those 10 horns represented the European Union, Europe. Let me say it like that. Europe. It represents Europe. So it says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." So what fire is it talking about, man? It's that nuclear fire that it's talking about. So what Macron says is very beautiful, because indeed Europe can't stay spectators, man. They have to join in, man. So the funny thing is, these Edomites, they are trying to do everything in their power to stop these prophecies from coming out. They're doing everything in their power to block this truth, you know, to block the truth from being spread. They're doing everything they can, taking down our channels, blocking our channels, terminating our channels, flagging our videos, giving us strikes and shit, even putting out a fine out there on the news, which says if you allow children to look at your content while it's not for them, you get like $40,000 fine. So now they want to make you uncomfortable by putting this truth out there for all ages, while it is for all ages, you know, to risk a fine of $40,000, man. So they're doing everything they can, trying to block this truth. But while they're doing that, they're fulfilling prophecy themselves, man. So that's the beautiful thing. They are fulfilling prophecy themselves, bringing out things like this. Macron warns that European nations cannot remain spectators in the face of potential nuclear arms race. And that's true, man. You know, and they won't stay spectators. They will join in. They probably already joined in full force, you know, creating these nuclear missiles, which they are about to use in this upcoming World War III. You see? They can't fall behind. Europe plays a great part in this World War III that is about to come. So guess what? The Smiths need to be prepared, man. Isaiah 54 verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument of his work. And I have created the wasted to destroy. What is the wasted to destroy? These nuclear missiles. So the most I put the spirit, like I already said, the most I put the spirit upon these scientists, these modern day smiths, to create these nuclear missiles. And as we speak, they are very busy with that. They are very busy with that, man, because the most I put the spirit upon them to do so. The most I put the spirit upon these leaders to prepare for war, to beat their plowshares into swords, man, like it says in Joel chapter 3 verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Now what that also represents is that whenever a country or countries or nations is about to go to war, their concerns about economics becomes less, because the military forces need more money, they need more gain. Because if the military fails, you know, in time of need, in times of war that are approaching, guess what? The economics is gonna fail too. You know, so they always stress the fact that the military needs to be more invested in than economics at certain time periods. I remember when I was in the military here in Holland, they really stopped investing in the military because it was so-called a time of peace. Yes, they were in Afghanistan, and yes, they were in Iran, you know, doing all kinds of bullshit. But it was calm until this ISIS nonsense popped up. Then you have Assad. Then you have the killing of Soleimani. You know, the assassination of Soleimani. You know, so war is rousing up, and it's not a good time to to be in the military, man. It's not a good time to be in the military. You know, so for guys that are in this truth, you know, sign the papers, man. Get the fuck out, man. Get out. Like that movie, Get Out. Do that super sprint that Jake is doing. You know? Do that super sprint, man, and get out of the fucking military, man. You know? Jake has no business being in the military in the first place. You know? And, you know, it's basically only because of lack of interest in other things that are in this bullshit society, you know, that the Jake joins the military, man. Nobody wants to die for a fucking devil. The same thing goes with being a bodyguard, being security, man. You're gonna catch a bullet for this devil, man, that is cussing out your people. No, man. You just need that money, you know. Simple as that. So war is rousing up, man. Again, you see, hey, you know, Macron is basically announcing a prophecy, man, and that shows you're supposed to see it, man. It's all how I say that. You're supposed to see with your spiritual eye, man. The Most High is making it so clear. You got Macron on the front page, man, because this is on the front page, man. If you go to RT, you see, this is the how I call it, the main page of RT. He's on the front page, man. This is on the front page. This is today's news. He's on the front page announcing something that's a major prophecy in the scriptures. You know, beating their plowshares into swords, creating these nuclear missiles, and investing more in the military forces, in the military might. You know, which the modern day military might is these nuclear missiles, man. Like the book of Nahum speaks about, man. Let me grab that real quick and close it out. You know, because I said military might. The modern day military might is these nuclear missiles, man. The modern day military might is these nuclear missiles. So I'm gonna read the book of Nahum, and I'm gonna close it out. This is Nahum chapter 3. Nahum chapter 3. Let me see. Is it Nahum chapter 3? Or is it Joel chapter 3? Bear with me for a moment. You know, sometimes you get this it's like Joel chapter 2. So it says, Joel chapter 2 verse 1. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. That's what we are doing. We are proclaiming that the nations are about to go to war and World War III is rousing up. That's what we're doing. You know, we sounding the alarm in the holy mountain. I just spoke about that if you are in the military, you better get your ass out of there, man. You know, that's that alarm. That's that warning. You know, let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. You see, the day of Yahweh is about to come. It's nigh at hand, man. You know, that's why we see chariots. You know, just showed you one. We see chariots on a daily basis, man. The chariots is just waiting there. You gotta think about it, man. The angels. I believe I saw a brother made a video saying the angels are without jobs as we speak, man. They are ready to put in work. You know, they're just waiting, man. They are like hungry lions. They are waiting to get fed, man. That's what they are waiting for. You know, so we see the chariots being in the land of the thieves. You know, waiting to. Man, you even see them do how you say that? War maneuvers, man. You see these chariots doing all kinds of war maneuvers, arrowhead formations. You know, like, because the scriptures say, as birds flying, so will the Lord defend Jerusalem. Let me grab that real quick. So you know I'm not talking shit. Isaiah 31 verse 5. As birds flying, so will Yahweh of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. You see, so the Lord is about to defend Jerusalem, which is the people before it is a place. How is he gonna do that? With his chariots, with his angels that fly in the so-called UFOs. Like the book of Ezekiel chapter 1 says, the living creature is within the wheels. You see? So that's what's about to happen, and that's what we see going on in the skies too. We see these chariots doing all kinds of formations, man. Doing all kinds of formations. So this is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. Reading on in verse 1. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people, and a strong. There had not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. You see, so this great people is not talking about literal people, it's talking about the nuclear missiles. You know, that's why I spoke about the military might. The modern day military might isn't talking about people, it's talking about missiles, man. You know, and that's what Macron is bringing out at this moment, that they need to step up their game concerning the nuclear missiles, man. this nuclear arms race that is going on. You know, they need to step their game up, man. Europe can't stay spectators, and they won't stay spectators because the Most High set it up like that. Europe plays a great part in the destruction of America, man. You see, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, these nuclear missiles. There had not been ever the like. Yeah, there had not been ever the like, because there has never been a war wherein nations used nuclear missiles to destroy each other, man. Each other. You know, not from one nation to another. No, the main weapon being the nuclear missile. It had never been like that. Neither shall be any more after it. Yeah, because in the kingdom we ain't gonna use nuclear missiles, man. There ain't gonna be no nuclear missiles in existence. You know, so there's never ever gonna be any the like, man. Let me see. Even to the years of many generations, a fire devoured before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, when these nuclear missiles is done with doing the thing that they came to do, they are gonna leave behind a desolation, man. They're gonna leave behind a desolation. You know, that is complete destruction, man. That's these nuclear missiles. They're gonna leave behind a wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses and of horsemen, so shall they run. Run? We're gonna run. They're gonna run through the skies, man. The appearance of them is gonna be like horses running through the sky. So my point is, Europe is preparing. Like it says, Macron warns that the European nations cannot remain spectators in the face of a potential nuclear arms race, which that arms race been going on. You know, it's just time for Europe to step its game up and to help fulfill prophecy. So with that, I'm going to say, Kal Elohim, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, Shalom to the elect.